So today on Thunderbear 4-Wheel Drive, we're going to wire in our Dune Star LED whip. So stick around. So a few weeks ago, my sister came up to visit, and where we live, we have the Moses Lake Sand Dunes. And one of the requirements of the Moses Lake Sand Dunes, like many other sand dunes across the country, is that you have a whip so that you can be seen more easily in off-road conditions going over dunes and whatnot. So there's a local company, Dune Star Whips, that make these really awesome LED whips, and I've had this for several weeks now, and I'm just getting around to actually wiring it in properly. So they gave us a tip on how to do that, and let's get into it. So the recommendation from Dune Star was that you take the harness that they give you and you add some wire to it, and you plug it into the trailer outlet for your vehicle, so that when you turn on your marker lights, boom, you have an LED whip. So that's the path that we're going to take while we're doing it, and let's start doing it. Of course. Of course. So, went through all the effort and the trouble to set up the camera, and even though I got the 5-foot whip, I can't put it on in the garage because it hits the ceiling floor or the flooring for the floor above us. So we're gonna reset all this. I'm gonna back it out and we're gonna pull it up along next to the shop, and we'll do it there. So now that we've got the opportunity for some headroom in here, I'm gonna go ahead and thread this in. Go get a couple wrenches and tighten it up. So because of the style of mounting I have, it takes a 5/8 and a 1/2 inch to kind of snug that down. So the way that they do these when they manufacture them, they put a little barrel power connector on them, and then in the pouch that you get with it, you have the other side of this connector. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take and figure how much wire it takes to go from here over the top of the spare, kind of tuck it in behind it, and then down here to where our trailer plug is. So something that I have an abundance of here on the ranch, the farm, whatever you want to call it. We got baling twine for days because we got critters and we got hay. So I'm gonna go get some baling twine and kind of measure me out some weird length so that we can figure out how long we need to cut the wires. All right, so here's our twine, and there's always way more than we need for anything. So I'm just gonna take and tie it off on this plug real quick and just drape it around, so it gives us an idea of how much we're gonna need. So looks like that's about the right amount for it to comfortably reach down there and have it not dangle or anything. And I'm not going to permanently attach it or anything. I want to be able to just plug it in on both ends and go, so that we can take this on and off as we need, because this isn't going to be used on the daily or anything like that. So this is what we're cutting our length to. I'm going to go ahead and throw a knot in this real quick so I know what my length is, so I don't forget and then have to come back and remeasure it. All right, so hopefully I'm in frame. Here's our piece of twine that we had, and here's our red primary wire that we're going to use. And because I plan on twisting this wire up, I know it's going to take up some slack. We're going to cut this longer, and then I'll just trim off any excess after that. So we'll give it about another foot. And there goes the need for our measuring tape. So onto our black wire. And now we have our length of black and red wire to go onto our plug for the LED whip. And then here's our 4-pin trailer plug-in. And all we're going to be using is the brown wire for the running lights and the white wire for ground. So black will go to white, red will go to brown, and really super simple setup here. So there's our ground wire. And if I can hold on to it, here goes our hot wire. And as always, my rusty trusty heat gun. It's not so rusty, but it's very trusty. All right, so there we go with that. So the next part I'm going to do, I'm going to take and chuck the wires up in a drill, and I'm just going to use the drill to twist the wires. So I'm going to anchor this in the vise. Apparently my wires are just a skosh uneven. And there's our twist. So it's kind of a loose twist, but it'll work good enough. Once the wires kind of relax into their new home, it'll be better. So in an effort to kind of keep this shape, I'm gonna go ahead and throw some conduit on this. There we go. So now all we need to do is just trim up our ends here and trim up our ends here and attach them to the other end. Now time to trim up the plug that they supplied with the kit. So one of the cool things that they send in the kit is you get a couple stickers from Dune Star. You also get a spring so that you can kind of keep everything steady. It even comes with a bolt on the one end so that you can plug it in, or anchor it down. And then what I'm not showing you in here, it actually came with a little 9-volt adapter plug so that you could put a 9-volt battery on it, plug it in and work, and it did. We did that the night that we got it to kind of get through the night. But now we're trying to do it upright. So, all right, both wires are crimped tight. And now we have a complete harness for plugging in the whip. I think I'm probably going to wrap some tape around this just to kind of protect the connectors, and I'm going to trim off these other wires down here so that they aren't just hanging out all over the place. And our quick and dirty power cable for our antenna. All right, so we got her all wired up. Time to test it out. Looks like I made it a little extra long. I'm going to tuck it in for now. I'll shorten it later. At least I've got enough spare wire I can work with something if I break it. Ta-da! There it be. This is our LED whip from Dune Star Whips. So if you're up in the Grant County, Moses Lake Sand Dunes area, they're camped out there all the time. I'm sure they'd love to have your business. I got a yellow one to go with the bronze accents on my Jeep. They have all manner of different colors, full RGB stuff. They got them that pulsate and do different patterns and all sorts of cool stuff. I'll leave a link in the description to Dune Star so that you can contact them if you're up this way. Wasn't much of a video today, but it was something, so we got this done up. I needed to get it done, so it's done. Please, if anyone out there is interested in maybe doing some filming or editing work, hit me up. I'd like to hear from you. So probably over here, going to be a couple videos I want you to watch, so check those out, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.